all right, here we go. So, Create Studio, right, is basically for making character explainers. So, and it does a fabulous job. But in order to achieve that, to make it into a video, it has to have features. And those features, they have to be kind of decent because, they want your work to look nice. While it may not be a fancy transition creating thing like CapCut or UCut or InShot, whatever you use, but it's still for what you can do to it and how you can make your business stand out just by using some of the free stuff that you have available to you while using your own material. So it has very basic editing features, but so let's get into this. Check this out. So I have it, and how do I get to it? It's on my computer. Uh, well, you might even wonder, can I put this on my phone and edit it? Because my phone has a pretty good editor. Well, I'm going to answer all those questions for you today. So check this out. So this is how we're going to do it. So as I open this up, I'll tell you, I've been a photographer and videographer for about 15 years, and I love computers. I can find them on the side of the road and take them home within 15 minutes, have the operating system dumped, reinstalled, have that puppy cleaned up, because a lot of times people fail to realize is that if you don't keep your fans and everything dusted and kept clean, they're always going to run hot because they always have a little program in there that measures the internal temperature. So if it raises because it can't cool itself off, it's going to shut off every time with every single computer. And I used to bank on that. But all right, so I know my way around a little bit. I'm not saying I know everything. I just only know a little bit. But so check it out. Here we go. All right, so I have this backup drive, and I have every day that I go out, it's named different. So let's get to it. So this is the video that we're going to work with. So it's a discovery. It's an MOV file. It is 338 megabyte, and it's only 16. Uh, yeah, it's a pretty good size file. All right, so we're going to pull it into Create Studio. Uh, First, we're going to see, walk you through and talk about it. But first, so for those that don't really understand their file navigation in Windows, it's tab browsing. So we're going to go ahead and open up a new one, and then we're going to go right to where that's at. So it is located in my backup, 1 terabyte. And then we're going to go right down to pics, then right here. So we're looking for this one right here, 7/28/24. So we're just going to scroll down to 7. I'm a highly organized person. 7/28, 14, 7/28, and right there it is. That's how I found it. So right now we're going to pull up Create Studio. We're going to close it. We're going to come right here down to it. I actually have 3 still installed as a backup because all my assets and everything are saved there, but I hardly use it because I've been busy learning Create Studio 4. So let's open it up. So we can directly work with this. All right, so we're at the startup screen, so we're going to say new project. It's going to bring us right here. So we're going to go over here to our media, click it, import media. And this is where understanding your file system is imperative. So where was this? All right, who knows? So what happens if you accidentally close that out? So we need to back up and say, well, wait a minute here, Bill, we need to save that. So we're going to come back over to the file, and we are going to drag it. We can highlight it, click it, do a left click, and drag it to anywhere you want on your computer. But you know what the good thing is? But let me just show you how I did that. So you have to hold up sometimes, find the sweet spot and copy it to videos. directly. But the good thing is, I would say though that if you haven't already done this, you're gonna say uh, you're just gonna let it copy over. But for me, because I've already done this for brevity, it's right here in my videos. All right, so here we go. Videos. That's the folder that it's in. It's a lot easier to find. And let me just scroll down to it. The hierarchy is a little weird on this one, even though it's set up correctly. Some of the videos I've done with Create Studio, right there it is, 7512. I don't do the transparent, so I'm just gonna say no. So we're just gonna let it. It does a high resolution pass and it does a low resolution pass. Sometimes it's lengthy. It takes longer to import these videos from my camera, which was taken with a Nikon D5300. It takes a good little minute, and by that I mean it's obviously more. Versus what my phone, these same videos in this widescreen format, but in 8K. So it imports them pretty fast. You would think, Billy, that's crazy, and I'm gonna tell you, no, not really, because these phones are already maximized for mobile use. So everything on the internet revolves around mobile stuff. So even though it's a Samsung S series and it's iPhone's major competitor, and in my book, it kicks iPhone's ass. But anyways, uh, it can definitely handle some editing and do some things to improve your video and get it ready for better import into Create Studio, because you're always going to lose a little bit during the conversion process. So right now it's doing a low resolution pass right here. And so like I can tell you, like 72324, that's almost a year ago, and I've improved quite a bit. My setting could have been different on my camera. I'm about 3 years into video recording, and I'm just now getting it dialed in, and I'm getting pretty good. But anyways, so it's almost done with the low resolution pass. All right, perfect. So we're gonna pull it down. All right. But first thing I want to do is I want to save this. Save this as, we're just going to give it a name, Create Studio Test Original. All right, so we're going to save that to our videos. All right, now we're going to save another copy. So how do we do that? How do you do that, Billy? No problem. So it's already there, so we're just going to utilize that by clicking on it, back it up a little bit, original, and then we're going to say test copy. All right. So then we're going to save that. So boom, that's all set. Now we got two different projects that we can work with here. So all we got to do is open them up. Perfect. All right, let's go. So now, so that video, Billy, he said he was going to, you know what? Let me, you're right. What can Create Studio do? So you've already got it there. So really, let's just play it and see what it's. It looks pretty good. So right there tells you, and let me go play the original. Right? You guys probably think I'm crazy. Right here's the original file. But actually, so we're gonna go over here, 72024, and we're gonna pull up the original directly off the camera, imported by USB. Right there it is. 7512. So let's back it up to that point right there, and let's just see. Put it somewhere in there. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take it back to the beginning. We're going to stop all this. So we're going to come up here to effects and components. So boom, we're going to jump down to color correction. So this is how you do basic editing without doing anything in your phone. But trust me, anytime that you can do anything in your phone because it's already meant to work with that phone, it's best to just to do the basics and already get some of this done and out of the way before you have to. It's an extra step, but limited anyways. But this is off my Nikon, so we're working directly with the file. So we're gonna keep the brightness right where it is. I want to increase the contrast, most definitely. We can go with saturation. We increase that because my camera settings could have been better, but we're going to compensate just a little bit. Gamma, you got to be careful with. So that brightened it up just a little bit. Now, what's the next one we want to hit it with? We want to hit it with sharpness. So we're going to come over here. So you want your video to pop a little bit, to be, look nice. So you're going to just polish it up. So we're going to do at least 13 on this. Click outside of it, and boom, there it is. All right, the resolution, of course, is 8. It's perfect. It's already perfect size, exactly what I need. So right now I can go in here and then I can do all the professional stuff. Uh, and but the cool stuff that I found, one thing that I like they have that's available is you go to social media and you scroll down. You can put your little Facebook thing in there. Got to get through it here. Right there it is. Bring it in. Right here. You can just click on it and it's going to come up. You can change that, put whatever you want in there, but I'm just going to use my good old Facebook one. There it is. So, let's get it up. Now let's place it. Adjust it a little bit, bring it in a little bit. I don't want it too big, but I definitely want it. You don't want it resting right on the bottom. See, right here's bottom. So you want it somewhere in there, pretty close, and not all the way to the edge, and definitely out of the way. So that part is done. So now we just need to look at, we can actually bring it in. I think now we'll leave it alone. So let's back it up. Let's go to my scenes. I've been building scenes. So go to my scenes. I already built the for sale sign. But this is one that I like. I haven't named it. I just keep a bold title scene because I know where that, and some of my other ones are in the other program. So we'll put it right there. We're going to place it. So we want to play it, get it up. Okay, so it's right there. Click one time here. Sometimes it's a little annoying. Nope, it's not it. All right, so now you can click in there and you can start changing things. This one was a little different, so we can. This is actually a sunrise. All right, it was taken on the Gulf side, West Coast, Florida, and Murray Island, but it was not at Manatee Public Beach. It was taken at Long Boat Pass. Oops. Wrong letter. Longboat Pass. Now we need to play this. Perfect. We need to move that up a little bit. So we need to open the group. Go down here, and here we can change the scale. No. You need to click around in there until you can get it. Open group. It takes a couple of clicks. Now you can move it up a little bit, make it fit. Bring these in just a little bit. Move it up until the G is clear. Don't do like I do and get click happy. Oh, there it is. Still need to bring it down a little bit. So it's a lot easier to sometimes just use scale. All right, so we're going to just keep it like that. Right there it is. Now we're going to come back. So how do we want that to come in? How is everything going to look? Let's see. Now we're going to hit publish. Boom. Now the important thing is, in the overall quality of the video, guys, is to increase the bit rate. All right, so Create Studio is a little low on the bit rate, but you're going to hit quality right here. Then you're going to go down to custom. So we're going to increase that by increasing that slider over there, and we can jump this up to the max bit rate of 50. And if you have any doubts about that, is actually looked at as low quality. And so the better the bit rate, the better chances you have are uh, performing well on, say, YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're posting. That is a big thing. If you don't believe me, look it up. So we've got the max 50%. All right, so we're going to choose the output file, and we're going to go to video. So now we're going to call this Create Studio, and I probably spelled it wrong. And we're going to make, yeah, so this is the, we're going to pick the original. Okay, boom. We're going to hit save. I think you need to take off CS Pro. There it is. So how long is it going to take? 330 meg. He added the filters and the effects and everything. It probably jumped it up. But it's actually going to decrease the file size. But that's cool because it makes it easier to work with. Very basic animations. You could add more to these, and you could chop it up a little bit, and you know it will lag at certain points, but it does pick back up. And if anything, I use the old rendering engine, but I didn't have to because you see this thing right here is cooking along. 4 is actually runs a little better. It's more stable. I don't even guess Create Studio when it comes to the exportation process. I don't really have any issues with it because I don't work with those big animations like you guys do. And I've seen some amazing work out there and some stuff that I'd like to learn, most definitely. But we're almost done here. But so here's what we're going to do. So while we know this is going to be working cat's ass, we're going to pull out my USB data cable. So it's almost done. So we're getting ready to plug it in, and voila, it's done 100%. Just wait for a second. So open the file. Let's check out the exportation process. So there's no questions. All right, so we know that works. So let's no, let's not, but let's just close it. All right, so let's minimize this. Get rid of that. All right, so Billy, we want to take that video 7512, which right there is the original one, and we want to put it on the phone. So we're going to take your USB data cable that's already hooked up to your computer, and you're going to unlock your screen first. Get that ready to go. So I'm going to show you how to put this on your phone using a data cable. So my screen is on, plugging the USB in, and it should pop right up over here in this PC, Billy's S22 Plus right here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the hardware out of it, and we're going to go right to the internal storage, and we're going to find DCIM. So all cameras have this. It's digital, something images, something another. But anyways, so this is the one that I put together to Create Studio. 3 files. Yeah, I was a little blurry in the first one, my bad. Or here's the original one. So we're gonna put it over there. We're gonna click it. So highlight it, press down on the left key, drag it over to DCIM and just put it in DCIM. So copying, boom, this is a pretty good way to do it. All right, so from here on out, we are going to be working with the phone and using the screen recorder that's built into that, and we're going to show you how to edit that file. So hang tight. Guys, Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. As you can see, I'm highly organized. I do a lot of analytical work, working with SEO and building websites and everything. But hey, okay, so we're going to jump right into this. So we're going to open our menu, right? We're going to do a swipe up. So to keep this widescreen, I got my phone turned sideways, and we're going to go to Gallery. I put that in DCIM, so it's there, right there. So how can we improve this? But Billy, you're just using just a phone editor. Watch this, the pen. So now we can crop this thing down. We can do anything we want, but we don't need to do any of that. We can actually straighten it if it's crooked. You know, we can do a lot of cool stuff here, but it's pretty straight. But if you want to do that, see right here is your straightening tools, where it looks like this, the second button, not the scissors, that's where you trim it. But here you can do adjustments. You can straighten it. You can do the horizontal. You can do all kinds of cool stuff, but I don't really need that. So right here's the filters already preset for you. You can say that's warm, so you can play it. See if you like it. Does that feel more like it? I feel like it better represents it, but I can also make it look like that. I can do lots of things. I can make it black and white, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I like that one. That's pretty close. So the next thing we're going to go to is we're going to go right here to brightness. So I need to turn that down just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. I want to make it look just the way that I saw it when I was there. All right, so you can see the clouds a little better. So the next we want to do is contrast. You can do a lot of amazing things. You can bring up your shadows, your highlights. You can make everything, you know, look at the sky. That's where you look, and you just got to do it slow and see where you change, and you try to get it a little better than what you saw it. Mine's pretty good right there. Shadows, you can bring your shadows up. You can do a lot of editing that you can't do on just Windows, I'm sorry, or even Google Photos. Saturation, I think it looks pretty good. Tint, no, that you can actually change the hue of the sky. You can make it more yellow. Temperature, so I think it needs to come down, but you can increase it, make it, you know, don't overdo it, just a little bit. Next thing that is extremely important is sharpness. So we're going to go down, and we know, yeah, it looks pretty good right there at about 4. So now we can choose to save a copy, size and format. So if you want to change it, see what it says: full high definition, size and format, resolution, perfect. All right, so it's the most compatible, so we don't have to worry about none of that. So we just hit done. But do we want to save a copy? Sure, why not save a copy? So it's going to save it. You can add text, you know, basic things. You can insert your a little timestamp on there. You can insert the name of your phone, Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. There's a lot of different things you can do, but this is where you get down to some of the basic editing and take care of it before you even put it into apps like UCut or CapCut, even Create Studio here. You just do the brunt of the work right here because your phones are already maximized for it. So it's done. So I don't even have to worry about it because it is saved where? DCIM. So to verify that, we're going to back out of this folder. And right there is the new one right there. That's the new one that's playing right now. That one. See, that's the original. All right. All right. I'll see you guys back on the Create Studio. All right, back to Create Studio. So we're going to plug our phone in now. All right, so now we're going to go to our phone and we're going to pull that right off from there. Okay, so to do that, you're going to go to DCIM. So right here's the folders right here. See how it gave it that file size of 1? It saved a copy of it. So let's check it out. Full screen. It's not wanting to initially launch. So let's look at the original. Oh, we couldn't open. All right, so we're just going to go right back to the original file. So that is located over here in my big drive. Pics 728, and it's 7512. We're going to view the original. One that's been done. So 1. Why is it doing that? Sometimes you get a little problem with your USB connection. So I'm just going to unplug it and plug it back in. So it reconnects back out of there. And we're just going to go back and do this all over again, just to be on the safe side. Sometimes you have things like that happen. Pics. So, oh, my phone. I'm having a moment here, guys. DCIM. So we want to put it, let's move it. Let's move it to videos. Get it over with. While it's there. So it's obviously it's a small file size. So it went from 338 down to 198, 191 by your phone. So it's already, and it's in good quality. So now let's work with it in Create Studio. All right, so let's go. Let's just pull it in as a new. No, let's see. Yeah, because it's been maximized by the phone. So I want to show you guys this difference. So let's import to media, and let's go to videos. So we're looking for that -1. Should be at the bottom. Right there it is. Watch this. It doesn't even ask about the transparent thing. See how much faster it is? Boom. You're working with it. Now you can even give it, because you've done a little bit to it, so you can improve it a little bit by going to the effects and components. So you can always give it a little color correction and just play around with it a little bit. You know, maybe bump this up just a little bit more, increase the saturation a little bit. Boom. Give it a little bit, maybe 1. It's going to brighten it back up. Sharpness, even though we did it over there, but we imported it, so add a little bit more to it to compensate for that. I would say go at 12. Boom. Now let's put your scenes and everything back in. My scenes, use that one. Boom, it's already there. All right, perfect. Go back to our social media. Let's do the same exact thing. I'm in the platinum package, if that helps. So we're going to scroll down. It's down there a ways. You can add all kinds of cool stuff. I don't find any of that stuff cool. I just need to get my description across, and I need to prevent theft. So right then and there, because it is my original material and it's got my name on it at the bottom, I could say, hey, that's my original video, and that's why I always say made for Facebook at the end. So you can do the old like icon, you can, do the follow and subscribe thing. So I'm just going to put that in there. And you can make it all look professional looking. And that's got to be at the end, of course. But we're going to make this even shorter and an easier file to work with. So we're going to bring it in, because we don't need all that, because this is just a demo ride. I'll keep that there. Keep that right there like that. We're just going to play it. See how it goes. Boom. If you want to add a little music to it, come up here, And that's where you can, find good stuff that you like. Like all right, so there's your master volume for that because it's already selected. So let's listen to this. Let's turn this off for a second. And let's play it. Oh, let's bring it back. Sounds beautiful, but let's fade it in at about 2 seconds and fade it out right about there. And we're gonna just barely do the music just a little bit. Too loud. We're gonna go to manually do this and go to 10. Still kind of loud, so we're gonna back it down. We want it just barely in there. 7. No, it's 17. 7. Create Studio test. So this is going to be the copy. Take off the CS Pro always because it won't save for some reason. You back it up. Let's say save. Would you like to save in? I don't know why it's saying that. Project name CS Pro. Let's just come back over here and select that folder, test copy, and let's just change the name to complete. Maybe that's hanging it up. There it is. Sometimes it's best just to take care of little things like that, just get it done and out of the way. And it looks like it is done. And now you can basically work with this file endlessly by just saying that, and you can do a lot of things. But anyways, there it is. Create Studio as a video editor for high definition files, whether it be off your phone, your camera, or your old video camera. However you can do it, Create Studio can do it and does a pretty decent job at doing it. But I use it for more the professional end, which is one to get my name out there, and I usually have nice little scrolls like subscribe to me and things like that on some of my videos. I do all kinds of different things, but I love Create Studio. Uh, yes, it has a pretty good video editor, and that's just my 2 cents. Thank you for watching.